is everyone today? Okay. The topic today is urinary incontinence. We're just going to go over the different types of incontinence that we have as we get a little bit older. A lot of it stems from having children when we were young. Our age is included, and sometimes there's just other symptoms that we have, diagnosis, conditions that we have going on in our body that cause the incontinence. So we're going to start off with the different types of incontinence, and there is stress incontinence. And when you have stress incontinence, it is small amounts of urine that come out, like when you sneeze, when you laugh, or you're doing an exercise, you stand up. Any of those things that have just a small amount, that's called stress incontinence. Then you have the need for the urge to go. Like you feel like you have to urinate all the time. Your bladder's getting smaller, it's not holding as much as urine as it used to. That's more, gives you the urge that you have to go more frequently. That's what makes us wake up at night. We just don't hold as much. Our muscles aren't as strong anymore. Our pelvic floor muscles aren't strong anymore to hold the urine in. Mixed incontinence is also, it's a little bit of both. You have the urgency, but then you also have the stress, where you have you sneeze or whatever, and you have a little tinkle here and there when you stand up. Functional incontinence is untimely urination because of physical disability, obstacles or problems in thinking or communicating to prevent the person from reaching the toilet. So usually that is when you have, you broke your hip and you have to go to the bathroom and it just takes you longer to get there. So, or you have Parkinson's or another diagnosis that takes you a little bit longer to get up from sitting, from laying in bed to get to your bathroom. You move a little bit slower. So everybody knows the different issues that comes with incontinence. It's, some people find it embarrassing. It makes us not want to go on outings as much. It makes us kind of it can make us isolate ourselves. On what types of clothes we wear, where we're going to go. So incontinence can affect our lives in many different ways. Socially, even in the home, different things. So one of the things we're going to kind of go over is how to kind of manage your incontinence. And then we'll go over the exercises that we provide and how there's a program that we as therapists provide to help you with your incontinence and what you can do for it to improve the strength of your pelvic floor to help with that. One of the things you can do first talks about a healthy bladder. It talks about kind of looking at your time when you need to go to the bathroom. Are you going, every 2 hours, every 3 hours? Kind of be aware before you go to the store, before you go to church, empty your bladder so you have enough time then to get back. So kind of when you're looking at planning your day, kind of look at when you have to, how you can make the bathroom also part of your day and go before you go on an outing. And it talks about different foods that you eat and drinks. There's certain irritants to bladders, tea, coffee, all of those are like stimulants to the bladder. They irritate it. So if you're a big coffee drinker, a big tea drinker, try to drink more cranberry or water or something else instead of those. There's different medications also. If you're on a diuretic, that is going to make you have to go to the bathroom. You're on a Lasix, something like that. Those are always going to make you have more frequent to the bathroom. And they have alpha blockers. They reduce blood pressure by dilating the blood vessels. They have antidepressants and even pain relievers. Some pain medicine can affect your muscles and your pelvic floor. If you do feel like you have an incontinence that is affecting your life, your everyday life, what you do, your activities and things like that, you can go to your doctor and talk to him about it. He can write you an order for occupational therapy, and you can come to the therapy and you can receive different exercises that's going to help. We're going to kind of go over some of these exercises today. So the program, how it usually starts out, is a 30 days 3 times a week of pelvic floor exercises. When we do these exercises, you'll come in for your evaluation. We'll have you use the one sheet to kind of monitor how often you're going to the bathroom, how often you're making it to the bathroom, how many episodes you're having that you don't actually make it. So we kind of have a guideline to see where we're starting from. And then what are you eating, what are you drinking, what kind of medicine you're on, all these things factor into how you're going to, your incontinence is going to be. Everyone can put their feet flat on the floor. We're going to go through these exercises, which you can do in your home, you can even do wherever you're at. First one we're going to start with is your abduction. So when you're doing these, you always want to think about holding your stomach in. So anytime you're doing any of these exercises, try to about holding your tummy in. Like you're zipping up your pants, as we call it. You're going to start out with your abduction. So when your abduction, you're going to bring your knees together, and you're going to hold it from a count of 3, and then release, and then hold it, 1, 2, 3, release, hold it, 1, 2, 3, release, hold it. At home, you can use a pillow, a rolled up towel, if you want to try to squeeze something, release, again, 1, 2, 3, release. And you would do all of these exercises at least once a day. The other one is the abduction. The abduction one, you're going to kind of need a little resistance. So you can either use your hands if you want, or you can get some TheraBand or something to put up against you, and you're going to push out. Relax, and then push out. Push out. So it really works if you have some kind of TheraBand.
I have a whole bunch of them here, so.
Yes. Perfect. So then you're using the resistance together. Pulling out, together. Pull it out, together. And you're gonna do those 20 times. And for like the kegels, those are the ones when you're sitting, you can do these ones you can do laying down too. When you're sitting, you're gonna you're zipping up your pants. You're pulling your stomach inward. Pull it in and relax. It's almost like a glute squeeze, like a bottom squeeze, but instead you're pulling your stomach, you're inward. So if you're doing them in bed, you're just kind of doing where you push your lower back to the floor. Push it in. So I have this gap, and then I'm pushing down. The gap, and then I push down. And those ones are a little bit more difficult to get control of and to understand. Does anybody else have any problem with that one? Pulling it in, you're pushing in.
Definitely a tricky one to know if you're doing right.
It is. When you do that one, you can also squeeze your bottom. So you're kind of like squeezing the whole, and hold it. And hold it. Almost like, I know this sounds funny, but like you're trying not to let gas out. You're trying to hold it in.
This is maybe a crazy question, but would our husbands have these same muscles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
A lot of men have this problem,
Okay.
especially when they have prostate problems.
Okay.
So it comes,
So they
yeah.
can still do these exercises too?
Oh, definitely,
Okay.
yes, this is definitely for men too. The other one, if you have I'm gonna put a chair in front of you. Stand up. This one, you're on here, and then you're gonna do squats. So you're gonna go squat down and squeeze on the way up. So you squat down and squeeze on the way up, good. And these ones you don't have to do as many. I don't want you to do 20, because 20 is a lot. We start out with 5 to 10, because we want the good form and correct, and squeeze. And squeeze. Anybody else want to try it?
This is the adduction, You're gonna get a pillow, or if you're in the gym, you can use one of these rolled up yoga mats, put it between your knees, and just squeeze. So you're adding your knees together. You're pushing in, squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. Okay, stop. The next exercise is abduction, which means to take apart. For that one, we use a band, and you can hold it here on the sides of your legs, and you're open and close. And she said, 1, 2, 3, and close. 1, 2, 3, and close. And stop. The last exercise is the squat. So hold on to the counter or a chair, and you're going to do a little squat like this. Squeeze your buttocks together and go straight. So we're squat, squeeze, and always have your tummy strong, or like you're zipping up your jeans.
So even when you're sitting in church and you're waiting for the pastor to come out, or you're waiting for the sex song, go ahead and do glute squeezes. Just squeeze your bottom. Nobody's really gonna know you're doing them, but any of
They'll know your shoulder. And you can sit at the back too, that's all right.
So I say, I've got the joy right in my heart. Let it go, it's fine.
What's he doing?
So yes, you're watching TV, that's an easy one, when you're watching TV, and that one you can do multiple times a day, because it really does help tighten that pelvic floor that we want to tighten up. So after we do these exercises, like we start you on the program, or do these at home, see how you're doing, then after 30 days, you're not seeing much results, then we step it up. If you don't have any
Contraindications?
stay here. Then we would start you on electrical stimulation. And how that works is like we're then using the electrical stimulation and an exercise to stimulate the muscles even more. And their placements are like, they go here and here and here and here. So they're crossing over your pelvic floor to help strengthen and contract the muscles of the pelvic floor. And when we have you do those, we have you squeeze a ball. So it'll go off for like 30 seconds, and then it comes off for 15 seconds, and you hold it for that 15 seconds, and then you relax, and then you hold it. And I say we usually get pretty good results with that one. Sometimes it takes to get to the electrical stim to do that, but we do get a lot of good results with that. And it really does make, incontinence really impacts our daily living, as all of everybody knows. But just by doing these exercises at home, starting out with air, trying them out, you will start to see a difference. Look at think about what kind of medication you're taking, what kind of food and diet you're eating. All affects, what we put in our mouth has to come out, so it does affect all of that. Let's see what else we need to talk about.
So even if I have been having worries about incontinence, if I've been experiencing incontinence for years, doing these exercises can still help me.
It does. Our vessels always have memory, and it will help the memory will come back. It may not come back 100%, but it'll definitely will make a difference. You may not wake up as much every night. And if you could go get that extra hour of sleep, and you're waking up every once or twice instead of 3 or 4 times, that's huge.
Yeah.
So just think of like our arms get weak, our pelvic floor gets weak. So those exercises we really need to do. Even at my age, right after I had children, I started doing those exercises because I would try jump roping or jumping on a trampoline, any of that. I cannot, it just happens. You just lose that strength down there. So all of these exercises are really good to do every day to build up that, to build up that muscle that we've lost over the years.
Forward, I don't understand adduction.
Adduction,
I mean, that looks the same
so you're
as
gonna
apple.
It does, so you're gonna pull in, like you're adding
Oh.
to, so you think about adding, you're squeezing the ball. So that one goes out, this one goes in, because you wanna work the inner muscles as well as the outer muscles. That works. That's why you kinda, like, if you're down here and use the band, is it helps give you the resistance. And at home, you can use a pillow, a rolled up towel, to help you squeeze. When you squeeze them, you wanna hold them for about 3 seconds each time. You just don't wanna go like this, because you're not gonna get anything out of it. You gotta really tighten up. When you squeeze it, always squeeze your glutes. Always squeeze your bottom too, because there's where it's at. All of them, in there. So try to squeeze that. Does anybody else have any questions? Do you wanna go through all the exercises?
I have one.
Yes.
I've always been told, don't drink as much at night.
They
You know,
do.
during the evening.
They
or
do.
something. And I've tried that, and that
It doesn't help.
doesn't make
It could be what what are you drinking during the day? Are you drinking more water? Are you drinking more tea, more coffee, more juice?
I drink coffee almost all morning long, and then I drink water the rest of the day.
The rest of the day. If you're only, I would try to maybe just have 2 cups of coffee in the morning. It's the caffeine, it's not even the decaf. It's the caffeine that's a stimulant to our bladder, and it irritates it. So the coffee and the tea, they have caffeine in them. Any kind of caffeine drinks, they irritate our bladder. That makes us go more often. So I know I love my coffee too. It'd be hard to give up, but if you can cut it down a little bit, and at night, water's still good, but maybe after like 6 or 7 o'clock, and then if you do that, you still have to go. So I think if you start the exercises, it might help strengthen the muscles. So our bladders get smaller, our bladders get weaker, it could be, if you start strengthening them, you should have what it is. Alcohol is one that isn't good for you, but
Alcohol is what?
not good for you. Okay, it will make you go more often. Personal.
Well, of course, I take a Lakes,
Mm-hmm.
and I know it's not a constant thing, I just take them when my ankles swell.
Right.
Other than that, I don't take them. But, I don't know how many times I go, I have an awful lot of pads I throw.
We can talk after class too. We'll talk about that. But if you are on LASIX, that is doing its job. It's supposed to make you go to the bathroom more often. And all we can do is try to be aware of that and say, okay, I haven't been, it's 10 o'clock, I took my pill, I know I'm gonna have to go in 45 minutes. So try to work out the time I'm trying to go. Again, the exercises will help hold it so you don't have, there's an accident, and help you get the time to get there. But you're still gonna have that errors with the LASIX.
It's surprising that doing exercise here helps that.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
since I've been taking, I can tell a road difference.
Yeah, so it definitely
Still, I still
strengthens
have
that.
some.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard.
And a lot of the exercises that Amy leads
Yeah.
in the classes, like the adduction and the adduction with the bands,
Yeah.
and the, your core muscles almost always gather in the other ones that are in there, so your pelvic floor is right there, right?
Correct.
And it's like bonus material. When you're doing balance exercises, you get this bonus pelvic exercise too. It's not as strong as if you were like concentrating, like I'm gonna do that one, but it's still a good benefit, right?
Yes.
So on all of these exercises, we're supposed to hold our stomach in,
Try to
right?
hold them in, yes. Because that it's activating your pelvic floor when you hold in your stomach. So when you're even squeezing the ball, you want to hold that in. Like hold that in.
Navel down.
So if you notice, even when I'm doing I'm doing my squeezes, I'm still like even doing a glute at the same time, because when you activate your pelvis, it makes you squeeze your glutes, your lower core, all of it, lower abdomen, so it really does. So those will help.
And they're pretty tiring, because those muscles are real weak a lot of the times. I had a baby not too long ago, and I realized I had to start doing this as well. And I was like, gosh, they're actually pretty tricky, but so important. Make sense?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
And you say do them every day?
Every day.
Yes.